Lots of angry people in the world. There's lots of people who are, I actually consider myself a fairly peaceful person. So to think that I was somehow angrier or more sad than other people didn't really make sense to me. Well, if I'm so sick and my sickness is caused by my anger, then that doesn't add up. When there's so many really aggressive people with road rage and all sorts of, hostilities, that wasn't me. And what this young man who I talked to on the phone explained, his perception, it's just a guess as to why, was that all of us have different levels of tolerance. That, for example, I have a cousin who smoked well into her 90s, 2 packs a day. And she never got cancer. When she finally died, it wasn't lung cancer. Yet my grandfather, who never smoked a day in his life, but grew up in London in the coal area, died of lung cancer in his early 70s. So it's just a question of what your personal body's tolerance is for whatever reason. Why does one person, get one thing and another person doesn't? Really, I don't think any of us know. The fact of the matter is that any of us with fibromyalgia know it's real, know we're not making it up, know that it's an absolutely debilitating illness, and know if you talk to any doctor, go anywhere in the world, they can tell you what the symptomologies is, but the best they can do is attack the symptoms. They can't actually get to the root of the problem. And I remember one of the women I talked to, the woman I talked to before seeing Vivian, had told me that the day she saw Vivian, she considered her birthday, her rebirth. And I saw Vivian November 8th. It's now May 7th, I think, or May 8th. And I absolutely consider November 8th my birthday. I have never needed a painkiller again. I have never needed a muscle relaxer again. I went off human growth hormone, heparin for thinning of blood. I was taking a stack of supplements like this big every single morning and every single night. Stuff for the digestive problems that we all get, stuff for the muscle tension and the muscle contraction, stuff to give me energy supposedly, to give my mitochondria a chance to produce more ATP. I don't need any of that. It took a while for me to mentally get used to the fact that I wasn't sick. I kept thinking, maybe this is going to wear off, maybe this amazing feeling is going to wear off. It never did. I started running again for the first time in 14 years. In January, I'm now up to 4 to 5 miles a day, every day. I work full-time again, and no, I'm not going back to law. I'm sort of looking at my life from a totally new place. I get to start entirely over again. I get to choose whatever I want. I get to choose if I want to fly somewhere, if I want to do world travel, if I want to go into politics, if I want to go back to medical school, do anything. All of that is possible now. Whereas before November 8th, I couldn't travel because I didn't know that I would be able to get from one place to another. I had lost pretty much all of my friendships because I couldn't even make a date with someone because I didn't know if I could drive there. And as many of you know, people get tired of canceled plans and have a hard time understanding something that doesn't really make any logical sense. I am meeting so many people all the time now, developing amazing friendships. And what's really profound to me is that it's not like going back to who I was at 15. I was a super accomplished person, actually a very high pressure person. I'm not going back to that person who had to have 10,000 things going on and had to be competitive in this area and the top of my class and whatever. What's amazing through the breakthrough with Vivian is even if I hadn't been sick, I would have asked for that breakthrough. Even if I had been completely healthy, the knowingness or the knowledge that I gained from that experience, the breakthrough that I had, and the breakthrough that you experience is, as strange as it may sound to someone who hasn't gone through it, is seeing your true self. Like once you go before the anger and the sadness and all of that, you get to who you really are, like who you are as a soul, who you are as a being. And once you see that and you get that, there's a freedom that comes with your that comes that is something that I've personally never experienced. There's a power that I feel that I've never had before. Not even when I was completely healthy. I didn't have that sense of freedom. I still felt compelled or pushed from outside forces, like the pressure of, you know, whatever it was when I was last healthy in high school, you know, your family, your teachers, your friends, your whatever. I felt pressure from all sides. Once you get who you really are in this breakthrough experience, this breakthrough that's so powerful that it breaks away all the bounds of pain and fatigue and everything that you had that was making you sick, it also allows you to be in life who you really are. I've never experienced myself in this way in the world. And you suddenly recognize that you've become the light that you never even knew you were. And people are attracted to that light and drawn to that light because everyone wants to have that light. Everyone wants to be that light because that's the light that everyone really is. And it's something that I never even asked for. I mean, yes, I was on a spiritual path, but that's not even something I asked for. I was just asking to be healthy. I was saying I was ready. I was really ready to let go of it, and I got so much more. So when I've talked to other people about what happened to me, because people who haven't seen me in a while are just stunned. Like it's not just that I'm moving normally. It's also that there's something different, something they see that they recognize, and they want to know what it is. And it's a miracle, but it's also, there are miracles on earth. You know, when people say miracles don't happen anymore, you know, you go back into the Bible and there was a moment where God showed himself to people and that moment is past. That is absolutely not true. The night before I saw Vivian, I remember praying and said, you know, I've doubted my faith, as I'm sure most people have most of the time. I said, I will never lose faith again if this really works. And I never will again, because I know that spectacular miracles are possible all the time. You can see doctor after doctor be told you have something totally incurable, unsolvable, that you're looking forward to a lifetime of being basically incapacitated, immobilized, isolated, debilitated, and unable to even think. And it's not true. It's simply not true. Don't believe anything your doctors have told you. Don't believe anything your friends have told you. And don't believe anything about accepting what you've got because it's God's will. It's not God's will. It's God's will that all of us are healthy and happy and free and powerful. And through my experience with Vivian, I've been able to find that for the first time in my life. I would never have believed it's possible, but on the other hand, I'm sure a part of many of us who were suffering with fibromyalgia deep down weren't convinced we'd have it forever, that there'd be something that came along, and this is what came along, and it's truly miraculous. Some people who have asked me about what I experienced, because they're suffering from various ailments, digestive problems, and others that may not necessarily be fibromyalgia, have asked me whether it's necessary to have a strong faith, to really believe in God, to be a believer in order for Vivian's work to be successful. And I do feel that once one has experienced the breakthrough, Vivian's breakthrough, I don't think you could doubt your faith. I mean, I think that even if you don't have faith now, you would find it, because you would see something so true and profound that you would suddenly know something, as opposed to just having faith in it or being told to have faith in it. I think it would probably be helpful to have an idea that there is something outside of us that is more than us, that we are more than just flesh. I think most people probably deep down have that faith anyway, that the love you have for your family or for your loved ones or for people in your life is more than just a matter of chromosomes and hormones, but that there's something higher than us at work, that there's some energies that are not explainable in strict science unless you want to go into metaphysics. So I don't think that it's necessary, but I do think that it would be helpful. However, I think all of us, once we see the light, can never doubt the light again, because we've seen it.